All right, welcome everybody to a late Mountain Man Monday. This is episode 14 for today, January 13th, 2020. So we'll see who we get. I know I'm doing this more than 2 hours after I normally do, but that's life for you. Work and lots of things going on. So we'll see who's still awake and see if anybody shows up and wants to say hello on this Monday evening. Hello, Marvin Carlton. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the late Monday night Mountain Man Monday live stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Looks like me bopping around here. Put this out of focus here. Let me try to get it back in focus. Well, let's see here. Let's see if it'll pop back in. Anyway, hope things are going well. I know might not get a ton of people because yeah, I know I am a little bit late. So I posted on Twitter that it would be late tonight. That I would try to have a live stream. Pardon me, but it would be between 9:30 or I think I said 9 to 9:45. So as promised, per my Mr. Mountain Man Twitter account, I did get on here live, just a little bit late. And yeah, I can't seem to get back into focus here. It was a cold and rainy weekend here. Yeah, I'm sorry for waving my hand in front. I'm trying to get this thing to refocus on me. But it was, and I forget which part of the country that you're in there, Marvin. Is it you were in the Midwest, right? Because here in the South, it was actually unseasonably warm, and we did get a lot of rain, but it was also, we got a lot of rain, but it was almost 70 degrees on Saturday. And I keep opening the wrong thing. I'm trying to open my camera settings. So 70 for January, even up here at this elevation in the mountains, is just unheard of. So yeah. Hey, Chris, about t-shirts. Hope you're doing okay as well. I think I was with the family. I think when I pulled open my phone, did you have a live stream tonight? And if you did, I apologize, I didn't make it. But I can go. That's a nice thing. I can always go back and watch them. So I hope you're doing well. Marvin, you're in the Midwest. Let me actually get back to using the software here. Yeah, so I'm in the Midwest, Southern Illinois to be exact. Yeah, again, I'm no weather expert, but I think that there was like a warm front or it was something coming up from the south, but there was cold air above it. So it was either really cold this weekend or hot, and it was warm here. No problem. It wasn't planned. Yeah, that's the best kind of live stream, by the way, are the ones that are ad hoc. So. And I'm not sure how perfect this software is right now because it's telling me there's only one person here, but I think there's at least a few people here because I see Saxy Matt too. Hello to you as well on this later Monday evening. Although if anybody's on Central Time, it's not that late. Just a lot going on. I want to hold to these Mountain Man Monday when I can get the time. But sometimes if the window's not right with work and family, I got to push it out until the dust settles later in the evening. And so that's what's happening. Plus, most people, casual football fans or avid football fans, the national championships going on right now. So I'm sure a lot of people are watching that. In fact, I'm not sure what the score is. I was going to look it up here. I had it on for a couple minutes. It is 17-14. So it's built up to be what it is. I'll tell you this much. The Tigers are going to win tonight. And I thought that was a silly joke. I'm sure everybody's used that because we got the LSU Tigers versus the Clemson Tigers. So the Tigers are going to win. I guarantee the Tigers are going to win. But anyway, I don't have a dog in the hunt. I'm an Ohio State fan, and they got beat by Clemson in a nail biter. So I just have a casual interest in it, but I wanted to hang out. Yeah, I got a lot of people telling me I was on with the game. Funny joke. Yeah, so that's what Chris About T-shirt says here. Yeah, so I might check back into that later, but at least got a few of y'all coming out here. Chris, how's the start of your year been going? I hope I mentioned this last week to everybody in the live stream, but if you're Chris About T-shirts YouTube channel has a Facebook page as well. And Chris has been wearing, if you've already been to his live streams, you know this, but if anybody's listening to this on delay or later, he's wearing a different T-shirt for all 365 days of the year. So it's fun to watch along as Chris wears different shirts every day. So that's a nice thing that you're doing for your channel there. So that's pretty cool. I'm just having the worst luck tonight. If I move a little bit close to the camera, all of a sudden it puts me out of focus. I wonder if I put like a finger smudge on it or something like that. Anyway, that's all good. So how's everybody else doing? We were talking. We always talk a little bit about the weather because it's that time of the year. It's just been crazy, unseasonably warm, even here in the Western North Carolina. I'm actually ready for it to get cool again. I think in about a week, it's going to finally get down to like 40s and the 20s again. As we are expected to be. But then it's been more like spring and fall right now. Some of these days are like a page out of late September, early October. So yeah, that's I would like to get a little bit of snow and mess around before the springtime happens in a little more time. So yeah, we'll see when winter finally arrives. Let's see. Chris talking about his shirt says, yeah, it's tough when I wear one, it goes away for the year. Yeah, I don't know how many T-shirts you have. I know you can get some novelty T-shirts, wherever you travel are cheap for $3 to $5 might be the cheapest you can get a T-shirt, but I'm doing the math on 365 times 5. You got a little bit of an investment, I think, in your tradition that you're starting this year. So either you already have 365 shirts, maybe you mentioned that on the channel, and or you haven't yet. Yeah. Goodness gracious, come back into focus, please. What is up with that? This is actually a really good camera too, so it must be operator error. Either that or I got something going on. And as you guys see me look really close, I'm just trying to see if there's like a smudge on the camera or something like that. Let's see here. No winter around here. Yeah, well, Chris, your weather and ours are usually the same, Eastern Tennessee, Western North Carolina. But every once in a while, it's what's been happening this year is you all get snow, and then it hits that ridge front on the border, and then it turns to rain. So you've got, well, I can't speak for you where you are directly, but talking about like the greater Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area, they've gotten several more snows than the Asheville area this year. We missed the ice around Chicago, just an inch of snow, not much shovel. That's good, Saxy Matt. Yeah, I know Chicago can be brutal. Ice is the worst. We get a lot of that in the southeast here, just because we don't get those deep frigid temperatures. So when it hovers around 32, sometimes you can get those ice storms. So yeah. So anyway, we'll see. I'd like to go sledding or do something fun like that. Maybe do some snow tubing. I would love to get back and go skiing again. I haven't been since I was a kid. It's the craziest thing. I did it when I was in high school. I absolutely love it. And there is absolutely no reason I've never done it again. So I really don't know. But yeah. So anyway, I keep looking at the 10-day forecast and seeing when the snow is going to come. Hello, Todd. Hello, Mr. Mountman and everyone. Hope you're having a nice late Monday evening wherever you are. Welcome to the live stream. I'm glad to have you here. We're just talking a little bit about the unseasonable warm temperatures that we're having in the mountains here. But that does bode well for being outside. Like it's actually good to hike, and there's a lake near here I saw on the news last night that people were paddle boating, and It was a little windy though. Actually, it was crazy windy here. Saturday night, it was really nuts. And so, yeah, we had branches and stuff blowing up here in the mountains. So it's pretty nuts. Lake Michigan was crazy in Chicago this past weekend. You mean like the wind, like the what is it, the white caps and stuff? I know the Great Lakes can be nuts in the wintertime, like how fierce and rough they are, at least from what I hear. I have mentioned this before. Let me close this and open it to see if it makes it go into focus. That is going to drive me bananas. How bad out of focus is it for you guys? I'm sorry about that. I don't know why in the world it looks so. You guys should be laughing at me right now. Like why the camera won't get into focus. I'll have to remedy this another time. It just looks fuzzy to me. If y'all could give me feedback on, let me try to mess with the settings real quick. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Is there anything I can do here? Autofocus. Let's try to turn that off. And then turn it back on. Oh, there it is. I can see myself better now. I'm not sure over the internet if it was projecting that it wasn't in focus. Now I just need to stay still. No moving around, no moving my hands. I do need to drink some water, but I think I might have figured the trick. Saxy Matt said it's blurry. I'll jump back down. I'll jump down. It's blurry. Saxy Matt, can you tell me if it got a little bit better? Okay, we got a thumbs up. I'm assuming that means it's better. Look at that. It almost matches the thumbs up down there. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, I was mentioning that. Yeah, thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. Todd said Shazam. Yeah, so I had to go into the camera settings and turn on and off autofocus. I guess the software is smarter than it should be, and it's messing it up. Anyway, yeah, this is good times, good times. Yeah, nice hands. There we go. And Chris says it looks good. My grandfather up in Lake Erie, near Lake Erie, got lake effect snow, and so. As I mentioned before, when I was growing up, if you'd go up there to near Lake Erie, just off that snow that would blow off, they'd get just couple feet, 3 feet. I mean, just crazy amounts of snow. That was something else. But those guys, everybody up there was weathered for it. They knew how to deal with that. It's the Wisconsin state line that gets hit usually, and northern Indiana with lake effect snow. Sorry, I wasn't even reading. We're talking about the same thing. Yeah, that's that stuff. But it's funny how the lake effect snow goes, because if you look at northern Ohio, there are certain parts like that don't get hit as hard, or Erie. It's just the way that the wind comes anyway. What is that old joke from the Holiday Inn commercial? I'm not a meteorologist, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express yesterday. So anyway, this is par for the course. We always talk about the weather here on the Mr. Mountain Man, talking about different parts of the country. I like to hear where everybody is. It's kind of fun, Some might call it small talk, but it's neat. It's neat to hear where other people are. Especially once in a while, we get people from different parts of the world and hear what it's like where they are right now, and just kind of visualize and think what it's like. I also think it is kind of strange it's so warm for January right now, because I'm still trying to get over the hot weather we had last summer, and so I want to get a little bit of a break from it. And so we got MMM Mom checking in. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man Mom. Welcome to have you. Haven't seen you around here in a while. This is a late live stream. Yes, this is a late live stream. We were just talking about how unseasonably warm, and actually I was talking to my mom recently, and she was saying it was really warm too in Ohio. I can't remember the exact temperature. I think she said 70 in Ohio, or high 60s. Anyway, nuts, crazy. My mom's friend lives in Buffalo, New York, and it's nothing for them to get an average of 120 inches of snow a year. Yeah, I remember. And Saxy Man, I wonder if does your friend or your mom's friend talk about how many times they have to use the snowblower each year? Because I know a lot of people, that's how they measure, how bad the snow is. I had to use the snowblower 8 times this year or whatever. How many significant snows they got. So yeah, I appreciate everybody taking a break from the national championship football game. As I mentioned before, the Tigers will win. That silly joke because they're both the Tigers, Clemson Tigers, LSU Tigers. And I doubt it. I can't see who's in the live stream. I guess anonymity, is that right? You can make fun of me if I said it wrong. Yeah, there's no way to figure out who's here. I was going to ask if she lives on a horse farm, so they have lots of work to do every year. Yeah, I mean, any kind of farmer, but you get snow, and there's a lot of work to do. That just made me think of something completely random, Matt. I watched this documentary. I like Mustang, like car Mustangs. There was a documentary, kind of a docudrama. No, they don't call it docudrama. It was actually like a documentary about this gentleman in upstate New York that had an old Mustang. He had a shop where he did like oil changes and minor car repair. He had an old Mustang and he wanted to bring it back to its glory. So the documentary follows him over 4 years while he slowly rebuilds this Mustang, and his wife as well. They're farmers, or he's the mechanic, but they live on a farm. She has a real passion for the farm, and she was completely skilled in like welding and doing all this stuff for the car. She was so polite because it just made me think about your farm story here. She always wanted to tend to the farm, the animals, the farm, and all this. But her husband was always making her like TIG weld on the frame for the Mustang or do something else. That was kind of an interesting documentary. Anyway, yeah, having a farm is nothing I know about, but a lot of work. Lots of rain over the last few days here in Cincinnati. Okay with it. It could be snow. Yep. As long as it's not ice, right, Todd? And I grew up in central Ohio. But I'll tell you, I remember growing up, and when you're a kid, you don't pay that much attention to every day's weather, but I remember a lot more of, because I used to deliver the Columbus Dispatch. I remember like it would have the high and low, and a lot of days in January would be like high of 15, low of 2, high of 8, low of -5. I mean, yes, that was kind of extra cold too, but I don't ever remember it being like 70 or 60 or 70. I don't know. Just weird these days. Where did you get your love of Mustangs? Yeah, my mom. But so my mom had a Mustang many, many moons ago. So she appreciates the car, and I did get it. Unfortunately, when I got my first car, I couldn't afford a Mustang. Not so much the car, like getting a used one, but the insurance. It took me a bunch of years to be able to afford one. I still don't drive a new one. You've seen it in my Myrtle Beach video if you guys haven't seen it before. I have a 2001 Mustang Cobra, which I really like. I can do light work to it and stuff, and so it sounds really good. It's not like a collector's item or anything like that. It's in one of those in-between years. In fact, you can get an '01 Cobra these days for less than $10,000. So, we're not talking about anything super duper high price, but I take care of it and I like it. And I love having a V8. It sounds awesome. When I was in Croatia last month, the forecast was for 50s and below, but the day we landed was 70, and the day of the recording session, it was 80. Yeah, that's nuts. It's just been unseasonably warm. I wonder, though, a couple of these last couple of years, it seems like winter has dragged on. So maybe we're going to get a late start to winter. It's going to be one of those deals where if we're live streaming, and talking in April, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, we're still getting snow or something like that, because it's shifted a little bit. I have a friend who retired in Newark, Ohio a couple years ago. He likes it there. Yeah, my parents live not that far from there, and Newark is nice because it's east of Columbus. So if you don't want such the traffic and all the hubbub of the city, but still be able to get over to Columbus, if you want those resources or culture or nightlife or shopping or whatever, you definitely can. Is my buddy from Brent from White Lab Workshop happen to be in here? I don't know if he ever joins. I was going to show you guys something amazing. I don't know if he's here or not. So my buddy Brent it's a YouTube channel called the White Lab Workshop. He calls it that. He's got 2 huge white Labrador retrievers, so he branded his channel after that. I work with him. He's actually, I don't know what the right word to use is. I mean, he's a hobbyist woodworker, but he's amazing. And he does really, really cool stuff. So on his channel, I think it's about every week, at least on cadence or something close to that, he comes out with a video that shows a fun project that you can do with, woodworking tools, basic stuff that you have if you're a hobbyist as well. And he built a hammer that looked like Thor's hammer from the movie out of wood one time. And I was telling him how awesome it was, and that I would love if someday, if he ever had time, to make me one as well. And that's exactly what he did. Check this thing out. So this, let me see if I can get it in there. This is solid wood, handmade. Look at this thing. Isn't that cool? And it's got his trademark on the back. That's the White Lab Workshop with the saw blade around it with the white Labrador in the middle. So I guess he burnt that in there because, again, I'm not a woodworker, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is that's been burnt in there. And so this smells amazing. You can tell it's been stained. I wanted to, I didn't know if he'd show up here today, but I'm definitely giving him credit. This thing is so cool. It weighs, I mean, this is solid. It's not hollow. So this is really cool. This is kind of like a trademark of the channel now. I really like it. Oops, I got to try to figure out how to get it in the camera there. But anyway, yeah, look at that wood grain. Isn't that cool? And then, boy, I'm going to butcher it. I don't know what he would have used on the end here. I don't know if he would have used a router. If you guys are woodworking, I'll check the comments in a second. I don't know if he would have used a router for that, but you can see the angle there. And then obviously that probably had to be cut through. He's probably, I'm going to tell him to watch this, he's going to laugh and he'd be like, man, no, that might be 2 pieces. I think I see it glued up there. So I'm not sure if that goes through, which is cool because then the integrity of the block is in shape. But anyway, it's very smooth. Anyway, I can't say enough about it. This is so awesome. I got to reach out to him tonight and tell him how fantastic this is. So if you like woodworking or just want to see something neat, check out, I will put a link in this afterwards. It's called the White Lab Workshop, and it's a YouTube channel. And even if you're not really into woodworking, it's still cool to check it out and support the channel. He's a good friend of mine, and thank you so much, Brent from White Lab Workshop. This is really cool. I have to show this on future live streams as well. Yeah, yep. So we got, that is cool. It's an awesome hammer. You are worthy to lift it. Yeah. So if anybody's ever seen the Marvel movies, that you have to, you can't pick it up. So, well, I'm strong enough to pick up the Mr. Mountain hammer. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it is awesome. Very cool. I lift it up so I can get it now. Like, put some guns into it and. Hey, Kentucky Girl. Hey, Chris about T-shirts and everybody. Glad to have you here, Kentucky Girl. Thanks. It's late tonight, but I decided better late than never. Is Mr. Mountain Man Thor now? Yeah. So that's what it's just awesome. I can't tell you. I just pulled this out of the box from him, from Brent shipping it to me. It smells amazing. You know how new wood that's been cut and stained, it just smells awesome. Yeah. So my mom says, where's Papa when you need him? My grandfather was an amazing woods craftsman, made furniture and all kinds of stuff. We have things in our house. He was incredible too. So it's funny because my buddy reminds me a bit, at least from the perspective of hobby and such, to watch him get into that as my grandfather did. Kentucky Girl, he's the Thor that can hardly move. Yeah. 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 We had a member at my church during a holiday craft fair carve mini baseball bats with players' names in it. That's really cool. Was it like hand carved or something like that? Or did they use like a lathe or that's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, anything made out of wood, it's kind of, that's the thing with furniture these days. You know, you think about, and there's nothing wrong with it, but and then we have a lot of stuff like that. But you think of this furniture from Walmart and IKEA and Wayfair, some of the stuff on Wayfair, not all of it. It's all made out of like MDF particle board, and it's strong and it's good stuff, but it's not real wood. It's not like a solid wood, and it's not like a keepsake for the family. So, which is funny because sometimes if you look on like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or the local consignment shops and such, you know, either from estate sales or just somebody downsizing or 100 different reasons, you know, a lot of furniture can be bought at pennies on the dollar. And so, you know, somebody who umpteen years ago may have spent $3,000 or more, or $5,000 at Ethan Allen buying solid wood dining room set, you might be able to get for 500 or 800 bucks, or maybe not something that grandiose. Maybe it's just a dresser or something else like that. A lot of times when it's one piece, if you're not trying to build a whole bedroom, it's kind of a good way to go to get something secondhand like that, because you can get real wood. If you go and buy solid wood furniture, it's unbelievably expensive. Again, not the MDF stuff with the laminate on top. I'm talking if you buy a real oak, cherry, walnut, cedar, whatever kind of piece of furniture, it's very, very expensive. And so, anyway, it's kind of neat to have something out of solid wood. And Matt says that they were made out of oak. Oak is a great color, by the way. I like have some oak furniture at the house too, and some oak chairs. So that's pretty cool about the baseball bat. I like craftsman style furniture like Stickley and Roycroft. That's cool. I never heard of that before. Is that something is that the style, meaning like it's not the brand, but it's the style of furniture? It's not only only thing I knew was, you know, solid wood versus some of the cheaper stuff, but I don't know that exact style. But that sounds pretty cool. I'll have to look that up. But I should have probably, in fairness, texted my buddy to see if he was going to show up tonight. But anyway, to show him this. But anyway, I'll put the notes down in this live stream. So what else is happening in the community? Well, if you are, let's see, it's early 1900s. Oh, wow. So like antique furniture. Okay. Like Frank Lloyd Wright. Yeah. You know, Mr. Mountain Mom, I was eating breakfast the other day with some people from the community, and somebody was from Wisconsin. And I said, oh, if I was from Wisconsin, I would take the family to House on the Rock. Frank Lloyd Wright reminded me of that because Alex Blah, let me see here. This is the nice thing about being on the internet. House on the Rock, Alex Jordan. Okay, gentleman named Alex Jordan. And if I butcher this history, you can look it up on the internet. He wanted to work for Frank Lloyd Wright. And Frank Lloyd Wright, if I recall, said something like, your designs are hideous, or something to that effect. So anyway, he went off and did his own thing. Anyway, he built this house in southern Wisconsin. It's an attraction now called House on the Rock. It's literally a house up in the rock. But then he became like a massive collector of all interesting and crazy things. Let me come back full circle. So to Mr. Mountain Man Mom, I was telling someone from Wisconsin, if I lived in Wisconsin, I would take my family to House on the Rock. He had never heard of it before. So I showed it to him. He's like, wow, I've lived there. You know, I have family there for 30 some years and I've never heard of it. So it's interesting how big of a deal that place is, but people haven't heard of it before. But anyway, the one person who has some pretty good videos on it right now, most people know him as Jacob the Carpetbagger. He's got a 3-part video on House of the Rock up in Wisconsin. But there's these massive rooms with like vacuum controlled mechanical musical played instruments, one of the largest collections of guns in the world, and dollhouses, and like a miniature scale fair, full carousel, just stuff and stuff and stuff. And you walk through and you take these tokens and you can go to those different rooms and play like all the instruments they play on their own, kind of like animatronic type thing. It's really hard to explain. So if you ever get a chance to look it up, it's called House on the Rock. That's really cool. Oh, yeah. So let me jump down. Kentucky Girl. Yep. Frank Lloyd Wright is my favorite architect. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. It feels like some of that is lost in modern day, that bold styling. Although, again, that's not my area of expertise. Somebody who's into the arts or architect, like, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about, but it feels like that kind of aggressive design. Such a great style. I have visited House on the Rock, and it's amazing. Yes, it's such a weird place because it's, you know, unless you're going to Chicago, so maybe Matt, you're up in that neck of the woods, or somebody who lives in Minnesota or Wisconsin. It's still a bit of a hike from Ohio and Indiana, but anyway, you could go up there. Pretty cool. So I don't have any videos on it, but like I said, Jacob the Carpetbagger has a few. In fact, his videos are so comprehensive that if you really don't have the opportunity to go see it, he literally walks through from the house and the entire thing, and he videotapes the whole thing. So much like the world is today, you don't necessarily have to go. You can find it on the internet, but there's nothing like being there in person and seeing every single little detail. One of my things on my bucket list is to go tour all the Frank Lloyd Wright houses. That is pretty cool. That would be cool. And also that'd be cool for doing some videos on. Sounds like the San Filippo estate. I'm not familiar with that. Maybe you could elaborate on that, of what that is. Speaking of the Carpetbagger, his video on Otherworld is interesting, in Reynoldsburg of all places. I did not know that. That is cool. I will have to look that up. Otherworld. What is the Otherworld? Let me know what that is. I can Google it. But if you happen to put in the comments, House on the Rock has a golf course and inn. Yeah. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere as far as I understand. So I wonder how much the hotels cost up there. And, but that's part of the novelty. It's kind of, out in the country a little bit, from last I remember and last I saw it. So yeah, the pipes get dry talking nonstop. Oh, okay. I'll provide a link. I don't know if I have it turned on so people can put links or not. You have to let me know. Yes, Cashew Paul puts out real informative YouTubes also. Yeah. I don't know if Cashew Paul's been to any of these places. I haven't seen, I don't know if Cashew Paul is subscribed to this channel or dropped in, but I've definitely said hello to him a whole bunch on Yitz and Chris About T-Shirts channel. And I know Chris and Cashew Paul hang out quite a bit. So yeah, he's a good guy. I just haven't personally met him, but yeah, good channel as well. There's a lot of good channels. All these amateur channels are really cool collectively because everybody's got their own angle and their own opinion and their own way of looking at things. So even though, maybe in a community or a geographic region, there's repetition across the channels, everybody's view. There would be no better example of that than like I've talked about with Disney World before. There must be 10,000 vloggers that do Disney. Literally, if you could find, maybe more, 50,000, who knows? But, and then there's the big channels. Take something major like that, I'm sure there's New York and Chicago and the Smoky Mountains and Europe and all these different areas, travel vlogs. But it's neat to see people's individual opinion on something because, people cover it in different ways. They have a different way of filming. They have a different opinion on what their likes and dislikes and what they're able to do. So yeah, I think that's one of the really cool things about YouTube. Very true, Kentucky Girl. Yep. A very strange museum of interactive art for any age. As most of it is blacklight, it really doesn't, it doesn't really show how wild it is. Took a year to build. Oh, definitely need to look at that. That sounds cool. The Otherworld, and Carpetbagger went there. carpetbagger's always in some unique places. So yeah, speaking of going around to some places, I still have 2 larger videos in the can. There's going to be a whole mix of stuff I've got planned as I get to it. Some more hikes, some more mountains. I've got, some of the places that I go pretty consistent with where I've been. I want to do some more motorcycle rides. So more fun stuff to be had, and some new and unique stuff. That's one of the things that I've been thinking about recently about this channel is you can. So that's interesting. I kind of backed into this, and I was thinking about this the other day. There are many good channels on YouTube from people who have 5,000, 10,000, 50, 100,000, a million subscribers that offer kind of a template of how YouTube and how your videos to be successful. You can really just go from the amateur and throw caution to the wind and just do it how you want to do it. And then you can do a little research or follow the ones that have come before you that are successful and kind of emulate that template that they have, that they use, or even television itself. If you look at television and you look at how a 30-minute program tells its story from its introduction and how it goes through and then wraps up just like a story. So when you're building these videos, there's lots of content to model after. One of the things that I was kind of thinking to myself randomly one day is I want to make sure that I'm using that input as a guide to be successful so that I get, as many people to enjoy my videos as possible. But at the same time, I don't want to fall into a trap of being unoriginal or, emulating too closely what other channels do, because dare I say copy, because a lot of people, that's just par for the course on YouTube. But I want to, have my own angle and take. One of the things I like to do is, from the eclectic nature of the many different channels I watch, from people who drive trucks. For some reason, I'm fascinated with people who drive truck driving. It seems therapeutic. It's very, quiet and, fun to watch. Disney and Smoky Mountains and weightlifting and bodybuilding and fun stuff and jokes and all kinds of stuff. I take little pieces from all of it that I'm like, that's a great idea, or that's a pretty cool thing. And then try to assimilate that with my own ideas and then have this channel. So anyway, hope I didn't lose all y'all. I like to give 2 cents sometimes. Some people have told me before in the chat, they find interesting, what equipment's used or what software or how I make videos, because they're thinking of doing it too. Not that I am a large channel by any means. I'm more held back by my inability to be consistent on YouTube by producing content than I am by the ideas that I think I could bring forward. So at least in this avenue, when we're talking, I can share some of those ideas, even if I'm not able to execute on them because I just don't have the time. So anyway, there's my 2 cents on some interesting YouTube ideas, but I want to keep this channel original. So, I certainly use the great ideas of the community, but I also want to have my own style and implementation to deliver to you all so that it's original as it can be. So 32,000 square feet is how big that the other world is. And then thank you, Matt, for providing a crafty way of providing a link with the spaces. That's the way to do it. Yeah, you have to space it out. Yeah, I don't even think you can do underscores or whatever, because YouTube. The problem with that, Matt, is if I knew there were never going to be any. We don't really get trolls here yet because I'm not big enough, thank goodness. But if you do, and we have mods, but you allow links posting, and all of a sudden you get spam with stuff. So anyway, thank you for posting it. Are you in the Asheville area also? Nope, in Heath outside of Columbus, Ohio. So yeah, somebody had mentioned earlier about Newark, Ohio. So that's not far from Newark. So yeah, that's there. But my parents do visit here from time to time in the Asheville area. Hey, Rita Lockhart, glad to have, or Lockett, excuse me, Lockett. Rita Lockett. I should read a little bit more closely. Checking in late. I thought you started earlier and I didn't see you and went to the store. Better late than never. By the way, thank you for reminding me inadvertently. I always mention how I post on Twitter if I'm going to be doing a live stream or not. Normally, if I'm not going to be doing one, but I did post tonight, it would be later. There's something right in my face that could help that to broadcast that message as well. That's even better. YouTube has a way to drop messages on your page, and I haven't done that, so that kind of went right over because I can do Twitter because it's open social media, but I also think I have the ability on my channel to put that information. So I'll look into that so that people know. Rita, I mentioned at the beginning, this is kind of how it goes for me, so work gets busy and things to do after work and then family and whatnot. Sometimes I have to wait till the dust settles. So if it's not a smooth running start to the week, I might not be able to hit that 7 to 7:30 time slot. But no worries. Another one of our fine gentlemen in the community was out there live streaming tonight, Chris about t-shirts. So if anybody wants some live stream action, he was around earlier. Rita, don't feel bad. I got Chris's live stream and I was saying hello right as they were all saying goodbye. Yeah. Oh, Todd, appreciate it. You're on the right track, Mr. Mountain Man. Enjoy your vids. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you. And I always welcome the feedback. My sister, who doesn't show up here too much, she watches a lot of YouTube and she'll always ping me and be like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And so I do welcome that feedback. And so that's cool. Sorry, Kentucky girl, don't like when that happens. Yeah, when we weren't stepping on anybody's toes. I don't think, Chris, was I think I started after yours, but I didn't check exactly. I'm not sure if you were done or not, because I thought when I was with the family, it was I think you were on about the 8:30 hour Eastern. Anyway, hopefully it all worked out. Looks like everybody's here and everything. Oh, gotta go. My mom's doctor's on the phone. Have a good night, everybody. Good night, Marvin. I'm sorry if I was a little bit late reading the comment. I hope you're doing well and have a great week. I understand. Just glad I caught you. Yep. And Rita, again, is one of the biggest supporters of all my videos. She actually watches, as I mentioned before, on my Eclectic Handyman, which is, again, an eclectic channel of whenever I fix something. I post something over there. That's another interesting stat. I think I mentioned this in another live stream. I get these emails, and Chris probably gets them, and whoever else has YouTube channels, that says like, I don't know, it's like a monthly summary. It says how many views did you get, and like, how many subscribers. I kind of glaze over it. But I get the one for Mr. Mountain Man and the Eclectic Handyman. They come about the same time. And again, the Eclectic Handyman, I don't ever envision having a lot of subscribers because it's the word eclectic was so important to that channel. There's no consistency other than it's that some kind of handyman job, car, house, yard, blah, blah, blah. So nobody's probably going to subscribe because there's no continuity. It breaks all the YouTube rules. However, in a vacuum, each video seems to be, or some of my older ones, very, very well watched, because I think I was flipping through the emails and I think my other channel, which I don't even really effort like this one, has like, I don't know, like 5 times the views or maybe 10 times. I flip through the email and I'm like, oh my gosh, that other channel, because those are practical how-to vids. And I use YouTube for that all the time. I mean, think about it. When we're all leisure time, we say, oh, let's go check out the mountains or what somebody did. But if you've got work to do and you're like, I need to fix a refrigerator and change this evaporator fan, I need a video on how to do it or do something on the car. So I just thought it was hilarious that always that happened. I always enjoy your videos, as well as yours, Chris. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you, buddy. Hey, what about Don? Welcome. I hope you and you guys are having a great time, you and Will. I hope you're having a great start to your week. And everything's going well over there in Eastern Tennessee. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Tell him that I said hello. And let's see here. Go live when you want, no matter who else is on. There are a few million YouTubers going live too. You came on after I went off though. Yeah, Chris is 100% right. If you have a channel, you just do what you want to do at whenever. I do yield just being realistic, there's a few people, specifically Chris, Yitz and a few others that, but yeah, like, if there's some huge channel doing a live stream, whatever, if 3 people want to show up and say howdy to me and shoot the breeze on a Monday night, that's fine. Chris is 100% right. Just do it whenever. And that's what I've been doing with the mountains. Yes. Welcome. What about Dawn? And, what about Dawn? I like your cute new hairdo. Yeah. I think Dawn got her hair cut. I saw it on the live stream. Dawn, I actually was on your all live stream, but Sunday night was a little hectic. So I got in there and I gave it the thumbs up, but I didn't really have time to chat on Sunday. Nobody probably noticed I wasn't there, but anyway, I was there to support the channel for you guys. So I always, I try, even if I miss it, to come back later to my favorite channels and give everybody that I enjoy and appreciate thumbs up. Miss Mountain did say the same words today. Kentucky girl. What about Don? Like, oh, no, I don't think I missed that. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Tell Dad I said hello. Hey, Don, we're good. Triple thumbs up. Whoops, what did I do? Triple thumbs up. Sorry I missed your live stream yesterday. My girl reminded me, Mr. Mountain, did you travel to Philippines as a tourist or business? Yes, Todd, I went on business. It was kind of a one-off trip. I do have a video on it. That is a wonderful place. My biggest takeaway from the Philippines were the people there. They were a type of nice that I've not seen before. Like, I asked some of the people I work with, I said, oh, these people must be just nice because I'm at this hotel or I'm in this part of the city. He's like, no, it's like that everywhere. People have great pride in their country and their city, and being kind to each other. I mean, I would leave the hotel and somebody would greet me and I'd come back oodles hours later and maybe that same person's there and greeting me with a smile. I mean, I've joked before, you go into Walmart and sometimes the greeter will look at me with this grumpy face and I feel like I'm the greeter. I'll like double back. I'll be like, hey, how you doing today? And I'm like, you just don't see that over there. So the takeaway from the Philippines was how nice the people were. The food was good, even though I didn't get super adventurous. Everything I had was good. And there's some pretty cool facts about the area. It's like the most, was it the most densely populated city or the largest city in the world? It is one of them. I say the stats in there, but anyway, it's a pretty cool video to check out. I have 2 videos. One of my least popular videos, and I can understand why. It doesn't really go with the mountain theme, but I did make a stop in Narita, Japan at the Tokyo Narita International Airport. It's a short vid, and I thought it was cool. It's one of my least watched videos, but I understand maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea. And then the Philippines. The Philippines is a massive audience. One of my YouTube buddies that I worked with, when I was on that trip, he told me he had a bicycle channel, bicycle channel, YouTube channel about riding bikes. He had like 200 or 300 subscribers at the time, and I had like 100 or 200. Last I checked, he had 14,000 subscribers. He exploded. There's such a massive audience there that if you are consistent and follow the general foundation of how to make YouTube videos, in which he does, and he has great quality, he's just gone whoop, and he just has he's just taken off. There's so many people over there. So Philippines was cool experience. If you haven't seen the video, enjoy it. I enjoy going there. To be honest, last week I waited till your stream was over before starting my stream. That's very nice of you. I remember that because then I was over with the family, and then I tried to come in and say hello and give you a thumbs up too. So yeah, I try to pay attention as well. If I ever step on somebody's toes, you guys can smack me for it later. Apparently I can't type. Will says hi. Yes, I hope you guys are doing well. I know you guys are always working hard and producing videos, so hopefully you're getting a little time tonight to relax. I was going to show everybody. I'm just going to show it again before, we got a few more minutes for the live stream. I showed this earlier, so for those of you that have already seen it, but my buddy from the White Lab Workshop, White Labrador here, White Lab Workshop on YouTube, made me this hammer out of solid wood that says Mr. Mountain Man. I just got it today, Brent from the White Lab Workshop, and this is just super cool. I will put a link if you're into woodworking. He does projects each week. So if you have like basic woodworking tools, you can follow along. He gives instructions from all sorts of things. He's made a game and frames and hammer and some small furniture. And he's done some stuff himself, so it's pretty cool. But this is stained, and I was hoping he'd show up tonight. I don't know how often he's able to. He's a busy man too. But this is just really cool. So it kind of looks like Thor's hammer. When I saw it and he made one, I said, "Oh my gosh! If you ever get time, please make me one." This is really cool. So yeah, this is like a trademark of the channel now. We got the Mr. Mountain Man hammer here, made out of solid wood. Excellent craftsmanship. So again, a shout out to my buddy over there at White Lab Workshop. That was really, really cool. Hey, Kentucky girl, let's see. I think Will relaxes while what about Don does all the work? Yeah. Well, I know, to give Don credit, Don does all the YouTube commenting. They've mentioned that both before. So if you all leave a comment on the Yankee in the South channel, as I've been told, that's Don that does all the work to say howdy and give the heart and everything. So, and that's a lot of work because that's a lot of people that comment on their channel. Oh, did I miss? Hey, Mama Bear. Hey. Oh, yeah. Did I miss a comment? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah. Here it is. Sorry, I did miss. Saw your video today with Smoky Mountain Hiker, and surprised to see it this time of night. Yes, I mentioned I'm a little bit late. Life's crazy. If I can get it on Monday, I'll get it on Monday. And I did post on Twitter that I'd be late today. But I'm glad for the folks that could come. When I started, it was a little slow going. I'm not sure if the notification. We had Marvin in here and a couple other folks. Chris showed up second. So yeah, let's see here. Oh, hey, PT Adventures 86. Hello, everyone. Just subscribes. Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the community. Glad to have you here, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. A lot of great people here. If you click on their names, a lot of them have YouTube channels as well. And I'm sure if you're watching some of my videos, they probably pop up as suggested videos as well. So glad to have you here. Welcome to the chat. Nice hammer. Yeah, it is really cool. Let's see here. Very cool hammer. Yeah, it is. I was telling people too, sounds weird, but it smells good because it's just been stained and it's, fresh wood. Really smooth handle too. So it's excellent craftsmanship. Yeah, I don't really have a way because of where I do my live streams. I should like hang it on the wall or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I'll have to do something with it. Well, it's definitely going right here on my desk, but yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, I didn't know if anybody'd show up because, the casual enthusiast in the National Football Championship was tonight. I think that game is still going on between the Tigers and the Tigers. Yeah. So other than that, anybody else do anything interesting this weekend or go out and do any adventures themselves? I was mentioning, year after year after year goes by and I haven't been skiing again. And now that I'm in Western North Carolina again, I have got to there are like 5 different mountains. And then on top of that, you've got Ober-Gatlinburg over in East Tennessee. It's just fantastic. There's plenty of opportunities. And so I really want to go skiing. I think the most prohibitive part of it is it's expensive. If you take the family and you're not an avid skier and all the rental costs and the lift tickets, I mean, a one day on the mountain for a few hours could be $500, especially if it's on the weekend. So then you have to take time off work if you want to go on an off day and an off season to save $100. Anyway, that's probably the prohibitive thing, but I really want to do it. I would love to do it. If anybody goes skiing and likes one of the mountains in Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, or snowboarding or snow tubing, or just likes to go sightseeing, let me know what you think. There's like Sugar Mountain. There's blah, 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 blah. Wolf Laurel. I'm forgetting. Ober. There's several of them. I used to know whatever. Oh, Don says, have a good night, everyone. You have a good night as well. And tell Will good night. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And I'll check in with you all later. Thank you for dropping by, Don. Have a great night. Let's see there. Somebody said, Kentucky girl, sometimes on YouTube, I see something called YouTube stories. Yitz uses a lot. Is that the way you could let us know what time you're going to live stream? Yes, Kentucky Girl. I think that's what I was mentioning a few minutes ago. There's a way to put a message on your YouTube page. That's exactly what I'm doing. If it's called stories or messages or posts or whatever, that's another way I can do it. I was mentioned that before, so whatever it's called, that might even be a better way because people can go to my homepage. That's the one I just made the new trailer for my video or for my channel and all that stuff, so it's pretty cool. My neighbor's a blacksmith and he does woodwork. That's nice, yeah. And even blacksmith could do like custom fence and metal work and stuff like that. That's really cool. Yeah, I like the smell of woodwork too. I was driving on Interstate 26 recently, and they're widening it, and they're cutting down a bunch of trees, which I'm not thrilled about because I like the quaint nature of where we live, but it's necessary for the traffic. And the other thing was, since they cut down all the trees, as you drive through, you get that great smell of all the wood being cut down. You ski or you want to? Sorry. I don't ski. I want to ski. I want to go skiing, but it's expensive. Yeah, but that's not really, I mean, pick and choose. I mean, here, because I'll give you an example. I posted on the It's Facebook, and I had seen it. Food City does have the discounted Ripley's season passes, ultimate pass from now until March. And let me tell you, if you go to Gatlinburg or you live in the vicinity, it's hard not to get one of those because for an adult, $99, you get unlimited access to all 8 of their attractions. And I can't remember if 8 is including the new one or if it's 9 with the new one that they're building, the Fun Zone or whatever. That's at the old Cooters. But anyway, that's the aquarium and the putt-putt and all that. Just to go putt-putt one time is like $9 to $15. I can't remember. Somebody could tell me. But you can see how quickly that'll make up for it. And then one trip to the aquarium. So every time you go, that for the family would be less than $500. So then you start weighing this out, like skiing versus season passes to Ripley's. And so anyway, I think that's a heck of a deal. It's something we might be looking into. Let's see here. So I'll be wrapping it up in a couple more minutes. Let's see here. You need 100 subs to use stories. I heard that. Okay, that might be it. Okay, if I can't broadcast, if I can't post a message to say that there is or is not a live stream, then I'll continue to use Twitter. And again, you don't need an account. It's public. There's a link to it on my YouTube page. It's at Mr. Mountain _man. Should be my picture and with the mountains in the background. And then I state whether or not the live streams are happening. You have to take your family to Chattanooga and visit the mountains there. They will enjoy Lookout Mountain. Yeah. Somebody else is on this channel that also talks about Chattanooga a lot. I think it's Tim or somebody else is there, lives in Chattanooga. Chattanooga looks like a beautiful place. That's South Central Tennessee, correct? If my geography is right, is where Chattanooga is located. I think 75 runs through Chattanooga too. Anyway, you can let me know. That's awesome, Todd. I missed it. Sorry, Todd. 35 years ago, I had an opportunity to work on a project in Tokyo. I had just met a beautiful girl, so I chose a 3-year project in Marysville, Kentucky. I don't regret it because I still have the girl. Congratulations. That's awesome. Those are life's great stories right there, right? Like how different decisions are made that we end up where we are today. That's fantastic. So that is really cool. That is really cool. Yeah, like that story. And PT Adventure says, we love Lookout Mountain. Yeah, I have to take a look at that. Is that something where like you drive or hike to the top and then you've got like amazing views of the surrounding area? You'll have to let us know. There certainly is a lot of untapped area to explore around here, and a lot of things that I want to do. Again, just more than I have time to, but as I will get to it, and I'm really excited about doing some more travel vlogs and adventures and keeping it unique, as I had mentioned earlier, and having my own flair, but enjoying this community and everything that I've been so grateful to meet all of you and interact with you all. Chattanooga is in southeastern Tennessee. Oh, well, that's a nice thing because I don't have mobile live streaming. I can pull it up in another tab, and voila, zoom out. I know you are not looking at what I'm looking at, but I just wanted to see. Yes, it is right on the border of Georgia, it looks like, in Tennessee. And yes, it does have 75 runs through it. Beautiful city. Nashville, Chattanooga, Gatlinburg, Memphis on the other side of the state. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff in Tennessee to see. A few years back, I went to Chattanooga and got combo tickets. Very reasonable to see Ruby Falls, Lookout Mountain, and see Rock City. It was really nice. That's really great advice. So if anybody's headed down there, yep, down 75. Ruby Falls, Cave, and the park. Chattanooga sounds like a fun place. Well, everyone, I am right at an hour. It is getting late here on the East Coast. I have to wrap up a little bit of stuff before I get to bed. Thank you to everybody who joined the live stream. I hope you had a nice time hanging out here tonight. I hope everybody has a wonderful week, happy, safe, healthy week. And maybe in another week or so, we'll get some more of that winter weather that we've been waiting for. That's not too severe, but maybe make it nice so that we can have some wintertime fun before spring that's around the corner. And just a couple others. Road trip to Little Switzerland some years ago. Stopped Mount Mitchell and Grandfather Mountain. Yep, to some of the best places. And I want to go up to Little Switzerland and check that out sometime soon as well. Good night, and we'll run through here. Good night. Chris about T-shirts. Let's go through everybody that we have here in the comments. We got good night, Chris about T-shirts, PT Adventures, Saxy Matt, Rita Lockhart, Mom, Mr. Mountain Man Mom, Kentucky Girl, Mama Bear Adventures, Todd, Rita. We had Dawn earlier. We had Will in the background. We had Marvin, Carlton, and if I'm missing anybody, I think that about covers it. And if you were quiet in the chat and didn't want to say hello, I say hello to you. And I hope you have a great week as well. Again, thank you to Brent at the White Lab Workshop for my hammer. And everybody, yeah, and thank you for the thumbs up, anybody who did it. Everybody have a great week, and I will talk to you on the next live stream on the channel. Have a great week, everyone.